It's Coach KD, man, and this is the failed athlete, but that don't mean you gotta fail in life. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, tap into the comment section. Everybody that's tapping in and rocking with me, I really appreciate it. It's greatly appreciated, man. But the oven is on. Let's talk turkey. Let's talk it. Let's talk Deion. The real reason why Florida State didn't give him that shot, didn't give him that opportunity, it was a lot of speculation, a lot of he say, she say, you know, the basics. Deion built up his resume in high school, right? He got right at the high school level instantly. Then moved on to assistant, but you know, he was running the team for the most part. That's when Jackson State came along. But before Jackson State, something interesting happened. You know, Deion, he was in talks with Florida State, his alma mater. Now, Deion Sanders is undoubtedly the best cornerback to ever do it. And he was able to bless your school. We must understand that Deion put a ton of money in a ton of people's pockets, putting on shows, game in and game out. Let's not forget about all of that money that was made and dispersed, and he wasn't able to see any of it, allegedly. I say allegedly because, hey man, hopefully he was. I'm not saying Deion Sanders will break any NCAA records. Y'all better stop putting words in my mouth. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this man made their program a ton of money. And a lot of those buildings you see today are dedicated to a lot of those plays that Deion Sanders made out there on the field. You think I'm playing? And ask my brother. You still don't believe me? Then ask my mother. Florida State had a giant opportunity to get Coach Prime in the door. However it may have been, I know he was fiending for that head coaching job. I know he had to have it. But Florida State, quiet as kept, they didn't believe in Coach Prime. They didn't believe in Deion Sanders. And they didn't want to hand the keys over to Coach Prime and allow them to fail. Now, they had been doing not so well for some time, but they weren't just gonna hand over the keys to someone who wasn't proven. I mean, not too long before that, you had Jimbo and Jameis winning, right? So they felt like they still had a little bit of esteem to the name, to where they weren't just gonna give Deion Sanders the keys, but they could have got him in at a dirt cheap rate. You know, business is business. And at the end of the day, like I said, I feel like they dropped the ball, because now you're going to have to pay that man triple. You're going to have to pay that man quadruple. You know what I'm saying? Because he's going to make you eat that. That's what he's been known to do. We're talking about a man, a competitor, who's on a Jordan-esque level. And I know Jordan, I know the Jordans, I know the Bradys. They're kind of in their own little realm. I get it. But Deion Sanders is if he's not that same tier, he's a smidget. See, I don't even want to disrespect him. I don't even want to see. That's disrespectful. But they didn't want to give him that opportunity. We're talking about the greatest corner to ever do it. We're talking about top 50 players all time to ever do it. Top 25, dare I say top 10. Hey, to ever do it. You know what I'm saying? Do it. And it was a ton of Florida State faithful. That actually wanted Prime in the door. It was Florida State faithful who wanted Prime to shine in the alma mater. They really wanted him to, but he didn't get that opportunity. So what did he do? He took his talents to one of the opportunities that he had, which was Jackson State in Mississippi. He turned those boys to some winners. He turned those boys into young men. He grew that program. You know what I'm saying? He grew that program. He made it to what it is today. And it's up to them if they want to keep that shine on the school. But everybody knows Deion Sanders is what brought that in. So now Florida State, they're looking and they're thinking, well, damn it, Jimmy. Well, damn it, Bob. Well, damn it, Dustin. We could have had him there for cheap. We could have had him there for pennies on it. They were getting him for $250,000. We could have thrown him. We could have thrown him 5, 6. We could have thrown him 700. Oh my goodness. So they let that slip up, and it was horrible. You know, it was bad, because Florida State, they're actually there's some people down there who are wanting Deion to succeed, but it's a ton of people who want him to fail. And I'm talking about higher ups, and they want him to fail just so they don't have to stick their hand out, make that call, and say, hey, Deion, we got a position for you over at Florida State. They don't want to make that call. They don't want Deion to put them on their ass and put them in a position to where they have to give him a shot, and they have to give him that bag. I'm telling you, there's some boys down there at Florida State who want him to fail, but he's not going to fail. He's not going to fail. He's proven. He's battle tested. I had to amputate the toe. He said, let it go. Just let the toe go. The Most High got me. I'm good. And you know, that's the confidence. That's the confidence he's initiating into these young men. You know what I'm saying? He's turning that on. He's flipping that switch. This is motivating him, man, more than you know, more than we know. For him to get that call to Florida State, you know, it's gonna mean a lot, because they hold him. They hold him technically. He's one of the greatest to ever do it. Give him a shot. Give him an opportunity. But they didn't have to do that. They didn't have to do that. And they didn't do that. So Deion sees how they really feel about him. Prime sees how they truly feel about him. They truly, yeah, you did a little bit. Thanks. Appreciate you. Yeah, you're a Hall of Famer. Yeah, you're the best ever to ever do it at your position. Yeah, whatever. It's cool. You know, that's how they really feel about him. So, you know, once he was able to decipher that, and realize, damn, these people don't give a damn about me. They never did. They just gave a damn about what I could bring for him. Then the switch went off. Well, business is business. RP takeoff. Business is business. And then what he had to go ahead and do was, hey, let me take this job at Jackson State. Let me take this job at Colorado. Next time you people speak to me, it's going to be about a bag. It's going to be about a Brinks truck. Beep, beep, beep. Back her in. You feel me? Back her in. Real deal Holyfield, because he was built for this. He was built for this. You see, these coaches, they gain confidence through wins. I've never seen a coach with this type of swagger, this type of arrogance, this type of I got this. Since, you tell me who was the last coach to really have that pep in his step, that walk to him. You know, hey man, hey. I don't know. But that's really the real reason why Florida didn't give him a shot. Florida State, my apologies. And that's the reason why they didn't give him a shot after Jackson State as well. You know, that pride is a hell of a drug, man. And when you're prideful, Florida State, see, they're like, nah, let me see this. Let me see this. Okay, you boosted up Jackson State. Let me see you boost up Colorado. You boost up, man. Hey, you mess around and Florida gonna mess around and offer his ass. Florida gonna mess around and offer Coach Prime, and then you're gonna be looking silly. You're gonna be looking silly. They're gonna offer a bigger bag. They're in a bigger conference. Did you forget about that? Now I know Deion, Coach Prime would never do something like that, but who am I? I'm just Coach KD. Who am I? He may do something like that. Who knows? Because at the end of the day, like I said, he showed them what it was all about. It was all money dollar. Oh no. It was all about the money. That's all it was about, is what Deion was bringing them. So, you know, hey, oh well, I don't have no allegiance to Florida State. You know, y'all want to treat me like this? I'll go over to Florida. And make them a powerhouse. See, that's what I'm saying. You keep waiting. And a bigger powerhouse than a Florida State is gonna come around and do. Now I know Coach Prime wants to be home, man. I know he wants to be home. So I know Tallahassee is a good landing spot for him. I know that's where he wants to be, but hey, don't disrespect the man. You see what happens when you get disrespected. You see what happens when you take his kindness for weakness. You see how he had to do Jackson. Now I understand, you know, to the average fan, they're not going to get this, but Jackson was a stepping stool from the start. But, you know, he could have stayed a little bit longer. May there not have been any disrespect. So let's call it what it is and not what it was. Pride and arrogance, ultimately, and not pulling the trigger early on is the real reason why Florida State looked down on Deion Sanders. They just didn't believe in him. Best player ever to come through there. They didn't believe in him. And, you know, that was up to them. Like I said, he just coached a little high school ball. Just coached a little top-notch high school ball. But, I mean, hey, this is Deion Sanders. If Tom Brady, listen, they will give Brett Favre a job right now. I'm talking about with everything that Brett Favre has going on. All of his crazy allegations. His lingering, looming allegations that are just lingering over his head right now. Those allegations. Somebody will hire Brett Favre. Somebody will give him a D1 shot as a head coach, being Brett Favre. Let's call it what it is. Then you got Deion Sanders stepping up to the plate. Florida State don't want to give him no shine. All right, it is what it is. Hey, I'll go get this on my own. I'll do this on my own. I see how you really feel. I'm going to go get her regardless. I'm going to just be who I always was. That's all. That's all this is. That's all this comes down to. So, Florida State is ultimately going to have to come with a big bag once Deion Sanders turns Colorado around. And he may not even want to head back to Florida State after how they treated him, after how they looked down on him, after how they just plain and simple didn't trust him. And you can't really blame Florida State for not trusting a high school coach. But like I said, if Brett Favre wanted that job and he balled at Florida State, I think they'd be singing a different tune. So you tell me what you think in the comment section, man. Get at me. Hey, it's the Failed Athlete, man. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. It's the Failed Athlete, but that don't mean you gotta fail in life. It's Coach KD. Make sure y'all tap in.